So how do you write bad guys that work with the heroes? As a manga writer, let's go ahead and talk about it. So I just got done building PowerPoint slide for a writing workshop that I'm doing soon, and this is talking about this exact thing. So when you're going to be building out a character that is going to be significantly working with your team enough to be a bad guy but is part of their party, you need to look at flushing them out. So out of the 5 character components, we're only going to talk about one to keep this video short, and that's going to be want. Because want is the external desire of that character, opposed to need, which is an internal thing that that character needs that usually goes along to the end results of their character arc, whether they get it, which will be a positive, or if they forsake the need or fail to obtain it, then that'll be a negative usually. So the big question then becomes, what does the bad guy want that purposely puts him in a position that makes joining the good guys worth it? What value is there in that partnership? And I'll give you an example from one of my series. So we have a cult leader who is summoning a devil, and after he ends up dispatching the monk, we learns that he ends up summoning an ordinal devil. But we end up quickly seeing that there is an issue here. The cult leader apparently ended up summoning the wrong devil and was looking for Resurrect, but ended up getting Vasigo. And the cult leader not getting what he wanted is like, I'll need to do it again. Maybe I'll send it back. And Vasigo's like, don't be rash. The cult leader's not vibe checking with that skibba-deal. So he's like, well, I'll start over and just start sacrificing more folks. I think we can all agree Selma's right in this situation. Shit, this is not good. Selma doesn't want to get sacrificed and Vasigo doesn't want to go back to the 10 hells. So why not make a deal? And so because their interests align, you have a bad guy working with a good guy, potentially for a long-term arrangement. But for the purposes of your question, what about a character specifically that has no morals? Well, that's even easier because they are completely driven by their want rather than having moral codes get in their way that would prevent them from joining the good guys. And in fact, having a bad guy with morals actually will make it harder for them to work with the good guy, because then their false belief that puts them in a situation for potentially being a bad guy will run counteractive to their want, and there will be a clash there. So if their false belief outweighs their want, then they probably won't work with the group. But if their want outweighs the false belief, at least temporarily, they will join the good guys. Or another example is you could always look at the Nimbara situation in my Deep Stalker Crows series. Because despite being on the good guys team, Valona is morally questionable, but we know the Nimbara is bad. So how did Valona get the Nimbara on their team? She gave her what we would call a dog walking. And when the Nimbara was actually in no position to bargain, Valona gave her a very simple choice. You're either going to become part of the team, or I'm going to eat you. In this situation, the Nimbara wants to stay alive. And for Valona, she wants to make the Nimbara suffer for her comment about making Valona a plaything. But you can see how executed, as they're all online free, and I only paywall the last 2 chapters of each book. So free. Or you can grab a physical copy of The Devil's Deal or Night of Slaughter that take place in the same world.